Welcome, welcome to Mind Body Fusion, the strengthening version. All right, today we have our sacred space. We're going to be on our mat standing, starting off with a nice flowy warm up, strengthening asanas, and then eventually coming down, doing more strengthening, and finishing off with a lovely relaxation exercise, some stretching poses, and really coming within. I invite you to start off coming into your body. So as you walk towards your mat, set the intention that whatever has happened prior to this moment is in the past. Whatever you have to do in the future is in the future. So just bring your energy in. Just call your energy in, breathe it in, because it may be scattered in all different things in our mind of where we're going to be doing or where we have to go. Just bring it in and just imagine all your energy coming into your body so you can focus inside your body. Let's get started. And just a couple of things, if you wish to modify, need to modify, feel free. I may be offering some modifications. Feel free to modify a little further for your body. If you're feeling a little bit dizzy or faint, please stop, check to see whether you need some medical attention. Be safe, okay? All right, bringing our energy back in through our breath, perhaps bringing our tongue to the roof of our mouth. We're on our sacred space. So notice the only thing on our sacred space is our body. And I say thing reverently because our bodies are like temples. When we treat our body well, when we treat ourselves well, we nurture ourselves, care for ourselves, love ourselves, our body gets excited and it works so efficiently. So let's get excited for being in our body. Notice your feet. And recognize that our feet do a lot of pounding. They take a lot of body weight, even just going upstairs or taking one step at a time. And we kind of forget them. So maybe take a quick look at your feet and notice your toes and big toe and your heel, the tops of your feet. Maybe lift your feet off the ground and then come onto your heels and just check out the bottoms of your feet. Be thankful for the bottoms of your feet and all the muscles that help activate the walk process. Our bodies are miraculously made, and when we are grateful for our bodies hear that message, feel that message from us. And our bodies do an amazing job of healing given the right circumstances, the right environment, the right water, food, superfoods, our thoughts, having the right thoughts that are supportive. So let's slow our breath down and just check out, what's happening in your body. Anything, even emotion. And just a note about emotion, if you find that there's some emotion that feels a little uncomfortable or maybe even a little bit scary, keep in mind that in this moment, we're safe. We're on our mat and nothing is happening. Just us breathing and standing. Our emotions are feedback for us to pay attention to something, or maybe something needs to resolve. Maybe our emotion is telling us we need to find solutions or act here. So our emotions are actually wonderful to listen to, even when they feel uncomfortable. So let's view the emotions as friends, even if they feel uncomfortable. Just ask if you need to, just inquire, what is the fear about? What is the sadness about? What is the grief about? Because our emotions have answers for us. Perhaps it's even just releasing something that we haven't processed through. All right, let's move up to our knees. Our knees carry our body weight and the impact of when we're walking, moving, running, jumping. So let's be thankful for our knees and the bones that lead to the knees and the muscles and the tendons. And then coming a little higher to the thighs, all the way around, leading up into the hips. And our hips carry our entire body weight as well. It allows us to hinge forward. It allows us to walk. Our body is amazingly made. Now let's come up a little bit higher, and we have our stomach, like our abdomen. We have all the different organs, our liver, gallbladder, kidneys, and I don't want to demean any other organ, but all the organs in our body, our heart, they're working really, really well and hard so that we can purify our body, detoxify, and our heart pumping blood throughout to feed our cells, all the different organs in the body. And then we have all the muscles that kind of intertwine, the ligaments, our spinal cord, which communicates from our mind, our brain, all the way down through the spinal cord, right down to the tailbone. And then from the spinal cord, we have all the wonderful different, the word escapes me right now, but they're feeding all the different organs. They're connected to all the different organs. So there's an amazing web inside our body, all interconnected. A body part is not on its own. Everything is interconnected in our body. Now let's go a little bit higher, through our arms, our fingers, all the things that we can pick up, tiny, tiny things. We can do hobbies, we can write, we can type or keyboard. Amazing, amazing way our body is made. And then a little higher, we have our throat, we have our vocal cords, we have our tonsils, which is part of our immune system. Our neck that allows our head to turn from side to side. And in our head, we have amazing, amazing capability. We have our brain, our eyes, our nose, our mouth, ears. We have our skull that helps protect the brain, our hair that is so luxurious. We're wonderfully made. So with this appreciation for our body, our temple, standing on our sacred space, this is the mindset in which we do our practice today. And not that it's less important on other practices, but today we are aware, fully aware of how amazingly our body is made. And we have the lungs, which I kind of missed. Without our lungs, we would not be here. So let's take a nice big breath in. Imagine filling up the lungs with life-giving oxygen, the oxygen being dispersed throughout the entire body, spreading out that energy. And as you exhale, we release the carbon dioxide that the body just releases, the byproduct or waste. And on our next inhalation, let's lift up, reach for the sky. Amazing. Palms together and open up the front body. Inhale, come into the center. Exhale, let's bring those hips back. Knees are soft. Breathe, coming into some flow. Inhale, the flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise. Palms come together, open up the front body. Inhale into the center. Exhale, swing those hips back. Knees are soft. Now you can also stop here at the knees or go further down. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise. Palms come together. Let's go into a beautiful twist. So you twist, you can stay up high, you can go low, you can bring your elbow to above the knee or outside the knee. Top elbow pointing to the ceiling. Breathe. We're twisting, hands in prayer position. Breathe. This is a strengthening position. And exhale into the center. Inhale, rise. Gather more energy. Exhale, go into forward fold. Nice. Inhale, the flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise. Palms come together. Press those hips out and back. Come into a twist. Breathe and hold. Now decide how far back or how low you're going to go. Remember to keep your knees behind your toes. So we don't want to do the twist this way. We want to bring those hips back, knees behind the toes. Breathe. On the exhalation, come into the center once again. Inhale and rise. Exhale, forward fold. Bring your hands down. Take one step back, another step back. Now, if you need to, feel free to grab a chair. This is downward dog, so we're pressing our hips up. Heels may or may not touch the ground, and the sensation in our hands is that you're pushing the mat forward. Allow your neck to come into a neutral, so we're not tipping our head up and we're not taking our chin into the chest. Breathe. Now lift up one of your heels, lower the other, and then switch, 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 and lower down. Breathe. Let's realign our body weight so we come into a plank. So I'm going to wiggle my feet back on the balls of the feet and come into a plank. Now, if you need to, feel free to come onto your knees. If you're on a chair, simply realign your body weight, press your hips back, hands on the chair rest. Breathe. So we're in a plank, wrists underneath the shoulders, abs engaged. Breathe. And let's come into downward dog. Now, you have a choice of either walking up to the front of the mat or taking a giant step forward. Check to see what works best for you. And on the inhalation, slowly rise up. Breathe. Interlace the fingers. So the fingers are interlaced, index finger pointing up. And on the exhalation, tip out to one side. Now notice that I'm not leaning forward and I'm not arching back. I'm literally coming over my hip. Breathe. Extend the arms. Notice how the side body opens up and it feels so wonderful. Inhale into the center. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise. Interlace the fingers, index finger pointing up. And tip out as you exhale to the other side. Breathe. Head is in between the arms. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Inhale into the center. Exhale. And as you exhale, come into step back. Breathe. This is warrior position. Deep knee bend if you wish, or stay a little higher. Now tip your palm up. Inhale, lift. Breathe. So it's strengthening and also opening up of the hip joint. So make sure that your hip is kind of towards the front, because if you have it back this way, we're not getting the full expression of this position. Breathe. On the exhalation, bring your arms back to shoulder height. And from here, windmill down. So we're sliding down the leg. You can choose to stay here or go all the way down. Now this top arm, we're going to straighten up a little bit. So we're going to open, 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 open our front shoulder. Breathe, fingers pointing to the ceiling. Now, again, you can also stay up here. Your choice. Inhale, lift. Now on the exhalation, we're going to start coming onto the ball of the foot. This knee bends. Bring the arm forward, and we're going to reposition to lift that back leg. Now this is a very strong pose. If you need to, keep your toes down. Breathe. Beautiful. Inhale, lift. So arms come up. Bend the knee, lift. If you need to touch the ground, feel free. Yes. On the exhalation, bring that foot down. Whew. Palms come together into prayer position. Relax the shoulders. Breathe. Knees are soft, so slightly bent. Very nice. Now inhale. And exhale. Forward fold, step back, downward dog. Press those hips up to the sky. Imagine pushing that mat forward. Breathe. Now let's realign or reposition our body weight so we're in a plank. High plank, you can also come down onto your knees. Breathe, abs engaged. So we want to make sure that we're not lifting up and we're not sagging. Breathe. Now take a giant step forward or walk a few steps. Breathe, inhale. Exhale, take a giant step forward, 45 degree on the back foot. Deep knee bend if you wish. Breathe. Palm is face up now. Inhale, lift. Breathe. On the exhalation, arms go back to shoulder height and let's windmill down. So we're going to slide down. You can rest here or go further down. Top arm is going to lift, 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 fingers pointing to the ceiling. We're opening up that shoulder, opening up the front body into a twist. Breathe. On the next inhalation, slowly lift up. Breathe. Arms back to shoulder height. Now reposition the back foot so it's pointing forward. Swing your arm forward and let's push off on the ball of the back foot. All the weight is coming into the front leg. Now notice I'm kind of dragging my foot. You can do that or lift up. Breathe. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And then inhale, bend the knee and lift up. If you need to touch the ground, feel free. On the exhalation, bring that foot down. Let's come into prayer position. Beautiful. Relax the shoulders, close your eyes. Check in. Again, let's go to that place of appreciation for our amazing, amazing bodies. All the amazing things our bodies do, and we don't even have to think about all the processes and all the different motions or things that our bodies need to do. Release the hands. Inhale. Reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Hands come to the ground. Let's come into downward dog once again. Beautiful. Now from here, pick up your left leg, up, over, opening up that hip joint. Breathe in again. You can do this position from a chair, so your hands are on the chair rest. You walk your feet back. Just make sure that you're on a stable chair as you do this, so your hands are on the chair, feet are kind of in the same position. Now swing your leg through. Now for those of you in a chair, you now need to change your positioning. We're going to take the back knee down. So those of you in the chair kind of walk into this position. Breathe. Slide this leg forward. Breathe. Now imagine you're pressing on the gas pedal. You're going to bend your front knee and you're going to open up the hip. So this hip, opposite side. Now from this position, lift up, inhale, breathe, opening up the front body. Yes, this is a really nice strengthening position. Palms come together. Now remember, you can pause at any point along this movement. I'm going to readjust my foot just a little bit. Coming back, palms together, and we're going to go into a twist. Breathe. So if you need to touch, notice that I lost some balance. It's okay. We just come back. Breathe. On the exhalation, come back to the center. Hands on the ground. Now notice the back foot. I'm on the ball of the foot. Now I'm going to show you how to come up. If you find this is something that this is not going to work, feel free to bring this knee down and then slowly make your way up, or use a chair to help yourself up. So I'm going to slowly pick up, and I'm going to take a giant step forward, and I'm just going to pause for a second so everyone can catch up. Breathe. Inhale, rise. Exhale, forward fold, and our hands come right back down again. Let's come into that downward dog. Nice. Now this time, let's take the other leg. So my right leg is coming up and over, opening up that right hip joint. And then I'm going to swing that foot through, come down onto my back leg, slide my heel forward, breathe, and we have a beautiful stretch. Keep your chin and chest up. Now we're going to change this into a strengthening pose very shortly. Like a gas pedal, press down with your foot. We're going to slide back. We're going to bend the knee forward. Now, if you wish, you can lift up. Breathe. On the exhalation, bring your palms together, and if you wish, you can come into a twist. Now, you may need to readjust. I'm a little bit too far forward, so I'm going to readjust. And top elbow points up. I'm in a prayer position. Breathe. On the exhalation, come back to center. Very nice. Hands come down. Now, rather than coming up this time, I'm just going to slide my leg back, come onto my knees, and let's widen our knees and press those hips back. Let's go into child's pose. Now, this may be your child's pose, or this may be your child's pose, or this may be your child's pose. Check to see where your body lands and honor your body. Now, everyone has a different range of motion in the knees. So if your hips and knees are a little tight or a little stiff or sore, you may find your behind can't reach your heels. That's okay. Work with your range of motion. We want to honor our bodies because they do so much for us. And the more we practice, our bodies become a little bit more flexible, they heal, and, at some point, our bodies do a little bit more and a little bit more. So honor the body, honor your body, your temple, where it's at today. It's doing a lot of work for us. Breathing in and exhaling out. Now on the inhalation, lift your head up, lift the upper torso, slide your elbows back, hands, you're on your hands, you can lift up, lift your hips up, then realign your knees with your hips. So we want to be mechanically in alignment. So I'm going to move my hands forward because I want my wrists underneath my shoulders. And now from here, I'm going to take my right arm and I'm going to slide it underneath my left. Now, you may stop here, or you may decide, and maybe your body allows you to do this, you can come all the way down with your face onto the mat. Breathe. Feel a beautiful shoulder release here. And on the inhalation, slowly lift up and slide your arm back out. Place your hand down, your wrist is underneath your shoulder, and slide or glide the other arm underneath the right. Go as deep or as your body allows you to go. Breathe. Feel how wonderful that stretch feels in your body. On the inhalation, slowly lift up, lifting your torso, gliding your arm out. Now we're going to do something a little different. We're going to slide our hand out and our arm. We're going to bring the shoulder down as close as possible, and then we're going to turn our head opposite. Now, for some, you may be able to bring your head down, and if you find this is too much, feel free to stay up. You're just going to gently press your arm towards the floor. We don't want to go into pain. It's just a gentle pressing forward. And what I'm noticing is a beautiful release in through the front of the shoulder this time, even into the chest. We have some releasing happening in the glutes. And on the next inhalation, gently lift your head off the ground, slide your arm in, reposition your hand so that the wrist is underneath your shoulder. Take your other right hand, slide it out at about shoulder height, bend the left elbow, bring your arm as close or shoulder as close as possible to the ground. It most likely will not touch, but that's okay. Turn your head opposite and gently press your arm towards the floor and just hold it there. You'll notice that there's a beautiful, gentle opening up right into the chest, into the shoulder. You'll also notice some bicep releasing. Spread your fingers wide. Keep breathing. And then on the inhalation, lift up. Beautiful. Let's swing our legs out. Let's come onto our backs. So decide whether it's appropriate for you to roll down or bring your knees to one side and then slowly roll onto your back. Now, from here, your arms are out by the side. Widen your feet, and let's allow our knees or legs to windmill. Go as close to the floor as you can. Do this nice and gently. Now, this is going to be a moving release. So as your knees tip one way, slowly roll your head the opposite way. Come back to center, head and knees. And roll the other way. Breathe. And come back to neutral. Now, if you wish to go slower, feel free to go slower. Remember, everyone's body is different. Sometimes we wish to go a little bit faster. Other times, we just want to go really slow. So just honor the rhythm of your body. And every time you twist, take a nice big breath in and exhale out. Breathe. It's kind of like a moving meditation. So I'm going to stay silent for about 30 seconds. Just stay in this moving meditation. And pause, breathe. Now you have a choice of keeping your knees bent. You can slide your arms down if you wish. Palms are face up. So either knees bent or extend your legs. Just check to see which feels best for you. Go a little bit wide, so maybe the width of the mat, or if you want even a little bit wider, check to see what works best for your body. Let's close our eyes and let's go within. Again, gratitude for our temple, our body, and all the processes, all the organs that are in our body that help us go from second to second, detoxifying, the blood nourishing all the cells, oxygen exchange happening, the energy, our food and the exchange of energy, the digestive system, all the different processes. So I'm going to stay silent for 1 minute. And inhale deeply, inhale that life-giving oxygen. Exhaling and releasing what no longer serves us, the carbon dioxide and everything else we wish to push out with our exhalation. Inhaling peace and calm, energy. Exhaling waste or stuff from the past that no longer serves us, any belief systems that no longer serves us. Inhaling new framework, new belief systems, exhaling out the old. Inhaling love, respect from the universe, from God, from our loved ones. And exhaling out what no longer serves. Now, as we inhale and take in love from others and the universe, God, we also send our love out to those we love. Breathe. Keep breathing. Now, on the next inhalation, if you have your legs straightened, just bend one of your knees, foot flat on the ground, and then bend the other one. Bend your elbows and perhaps bring your hands either on the chest or the abdomen or the belly, whichever feels comfortable. Now, if you're coming in on the recording and you wish to stay in this position longer, feel free to do that. If you feel it's time to wind the practice down, then slowly tip your knees to one side and allow the shoulder to follow. Breathe in and out. Let's take 5 breaths here. Notice what you notice in your body. Just be mindful, meaning that you're observing what's happening. No judgment, just observing. And then when you're ready, You can use your hands, forearms, elbows to help you up. A little bit at a time. Do this slowly. Perhaps you rest here for a little longer. Now I'm going to make my way closer to the computer just for some final comments, but you can rest here a little longer. Coming up very gently, slowly, so I can stay in this beautiful, beautiful, peaceful state. Now, when we're in a beautiful, peaceful state, we may have ideas or awarenesses that come up. We can be creative because that peaceful state is parasympathetic. Our nervous system goes into kind of that restful period, that healing period. When we're in that healing period, we get the best ideas. We're calmer. Our body goes into healing and we become aware of a lot of different things. So when you're in this space, you may have some realizations. Feel free to put them into a journal if you wish, or just take note. The more you practice coming into this parasympathetic state, the easier it is to come there more quickly. So if you found, your mind was still racing, it's okay. We're training our body to come into that place of the parasympathetic state. And personally, it took me a while to get there. For others, they get there pretty quickly. But I had to really train my mind because my mind was racing all over and I was also doing the judgy thing. So it took me a bit to finally understand and really appreciate my body and then allow. I just allowed. And the more I allowed, I trained my body to come into that quieter space a little bit more quickly. Not to say that I don't get into that crazy space again, but the more I do and the more I realize, okay, you know what, I'm in that kind of crazy space, I come back to breath and I bring my body back to center. We may not stay there 100% of the time, that's okay. We just train ourselves to come to that beautiful space where our body is calm, our breath helps us get there, and then we become more resilient, we have better ideas, and we feel stronger in our body, even emotionally. So I hope you enjoyed today's session. Drink some water. If you wish to stay in this space longer, then refrain from doing something vigorous for the next 15 minutes or however long you wish. Until next time,